Hey guys, what is up everybody? Welcome to a new video. In today's video, let's talk about payment gateway solutions for your website, for your e-commerce projects, and for any kind of projects where you need to accept payments from people. And the reason why I decided to record this video is just because so many people asking me like what is the best solution or what is the best combination, because sometimes you need more than one provider to accept payments, and that usually happens when you have international e-commerce project. It means that your clients not only within your country, your clients are somewhere else, and in this situation you would need to find solution which will allow you to deal with people from different regions and to be able to process their payments. And some people have different preferences for the payments. Some people want to pay by card, some people want to pay by more trusted system, and in this situation you need to find that combination which will work for you. And in my case, because I'm launching e-commerce projects for quite a long time already, and in my case I usually trying to find as less solutions as possible. What I mean is that I'm not trying to stick with one solution, because one solution sometimes does not cover everything, but same time I don't really want to go with I don't know, like many providers, like 3, 4, 5, 6 providers, because in this case you need to maintain them, you need to manage them, and especially if you do e-commerce. So when you have claims, or when you have refunds, or when you have fraudulent payments, it's really hard to maintain all of those systems and negotiate with the support of the systems, or like just deal with all that routine is kind of really hard. So in this case you need to use as less solutions as possible, but same time to be able to cover everything. So over the years my top two solutions are Stripe and PayPal. I know, guys, that many of you might also say there should be Amazon payment, but I don't count it in, because Amazon payment doesn't allow you to work with absolutely all countries, or it has its own limitations. But Stripe and PayPal looks to me as the most let's say versatile solutions if they work in combination with each other. And the reason why is that because Stripe is really good at card payment systems, and PayPal is really good within the network of PayPal users. Stripe is really good card payment solution, and Stripe works with Visa, MasterCard, American Express cards, and like all bunch of other cards. So in this case, Stripe will be the best solution, because it will allow you to accept payment easily, quicker, and you probably just not gonna struggle with it. And that is kind of what makes the system really good. So Apple payment, Google payment, or payment by card just focused on this sector. And also in one of my previous videos I told you that Stripe has let's say better commission rates rather than PayPal. If you want to watch these videos, I will leave links below for both PayPal and Stripe, so you can see what is the difference. On the negative side of Stripe, or let's say on risky side of Stripe, I would say that first of all there is no user verification. So basically, there are a lot of fraudulent payments, especially with stolen cards, and someone buys from you, and especially if you do international business, it's a little bit tricky, because within the domestic sales you can always find the person. I think in most cases you can find the person, but with international payment or international sale, it's not usually possible. So we already had like series of such situations where we accept the payments, we ship the product, and then this payment's been claimed back. And even if you try to negotiate with the police on that side, I would say it's almost impossible. If you want to know more about it, let me know in the comment section below. I'll tell you a couple of stories, and I will tell you how to handle those stories. Now I just don't want to spend most of the time telling you about such situations. But just for you to know, there is always tricky situations when you don't have any kind of user verification. Of course, Stripe gives you possibility to some kind of extract a little bit more data from the payment. They provide kind of extra service for that, where you can get a little bit more data about the card, about their address from where the payment been happening, and then they actually do like payment risk evaluation. So they're telling you what is their possibility that this card is stolen, or there is a not real person who owns the card who is buying from you. So like there are a bunch of this optional features which you can get, but still you are the one who need to verify the payment, and you are the one who has to make a decision where you want to ship the product to the client, where you accept the payment or not. So that is a kind of biggest disadvantage of Stripe system. So, but in general, it's really, I think on the positive side of it is actually innovation, or like simplicity, that people can pay with Apple Pay, with Google Pay, with just one click, one touch, and there is no problem with that. Speaking of PayPal, I would say the strongest advantage of a PayPal is that it's kind of trustable payment system or network of users. So basically, before you can pay within the PayPal, you have to register, you need to confirm your card with your bank, and go through this verification process. So basically, by the time when you actually make your payment to a third party, you should be verified, and that's where both buyer and seller on let's say on the safe side. And also you can do like peer-to-peer payments. Stripe also allows you to send invoices, but PayPal is kind of like more business and sales oriented in terms of selling within the PayPal, right? So you don't even need to have a website, you don't really need to have anything. You're just, as a business, you can actually issue invoice within the PayPal, send to the user pays, and it's already verified. What are the disadvantages for PayPal? And the biggest disadvantage, I would say, is that not every country actually uses PayPal. Like Europe is not a big user of PayPal. Asia is not a big user of PayPal as well. Mostly PayPal is really well established in the US and North America. And also because, this system or this payment provider requires you to register within the system, sometimes it makes it harder for people to pay because they don't have PayPal account, and they only have their credit card or bank card. And within the PayPal, you can actually accept payment cards without registration. But the problem there is that it's really, it's not easy to do. So it's not that you just put your credentials and then click pay like with a Stripe. You actually have to put a little bit more extra data about you, which people don't really appreciate doing. And that's where it's kind of PayPal makes it inconvenient. And I would say that it only works when person who is buying from you also has PayPal. And also one of the disadvantages of the PayPal, I would say, a little bit higher commissions than Stripe. Saying that, I just see that from my personal perspective, the best combination is to use both. For example, you use Stripe for Apple Pay, Google Pay, and car payments. And for those users who wants like extra more protection or more safety, you offer PayPal. And if you sell to United States or to North America in general, you also use PayPal. And usually that works. So in my case, it works, and we already at the point where we know how to handle all the fraudulent payments. We are at the point when we understand, what products or what product categories people willing to pay via bank card, or where they want to use only PayPal because they just want to be safe and protected on their side as well. Yeah, so that's kind of like my simple overview, just giving you ideas that we use those systems and we work with them. And if you're one who is basically looking for a solution and you want to understand what and how you're gonna use for your e-commerce projects, doesn't matter again which platform you're running, maybe it's Shopify, maybe it WooCommerce, or maybe something else. Just if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, because once I know what you want to know, I probably can provide you with a little bit more data from our experience. And yeah, stay tuned, stay in touch, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.